Real Madrid and Eden Hazard have come to an agreement that his contract will be terminated. He had one more year left. It has been a complete and utter failure, his time in Madrid, since making that €115 million move from Chelsea.
Giving us something to talk about, though, isn't it?
What's that?
Not today. Talking about it today. I mean, as a generalisation, and every week we well.
It's crazy. Can you think of the Eden Hazard you came up against and how ineffective he has been in Spain?
I mean, Dan, listen, there's one player that, as players in the club, we never used to speak if we was coming up against a team the next day. We never used to, out of pride and ego, we would never speak about another player, but he was one player that everyone would speak about when you were coming up against. I mean, that season that he won the league, it was a virtuoso season from him. Like, he literally single-handedly just took Chelsea and took them to the Premier League title. And
then we thought, obviously, Madrid would be a great fit for him.
I certainly thought so. Listen, I'm with Kieran. I thought at his best, Eden Hazard at Chelsea was the only player in the league who could just dominate a game. He dictated everything about the game, and I wanted to see him do similarly at Real Madrid, kind of give him some of the other players who've left English football and gone to Real Madrid and to ply their trades. I thought he was of that ilk, maybe not Ronaldo ilk, but he was certainly up there with the likes of Gareth Bale, who was also a little bit disappointing in the end, at least. Eden Hazard had a couple of early injuries, which kind of made his start and the transition a little bit kind of checkered, and never really recovered. But even so, how poor he had been over 4 years. I mean, it's what, 7 goals, 4 years, 9 assists. Again, we're talking about a player who completely bossed the Premier League. There's no other way to put it. And to say he looked decidedly average is doing what we saw from him a little bit of an injustice, in all honesty. He was that bad.
It's got to go down as one of the worst transfers ever.
Yeah, and for me, it's down to the player. And Shaq mentioned the injuries, but the injuries, to some extent, some of them come from the lack of application. They're coming back in pre-season overweight and basically saying, I just did a jolly up in the summer. That's what we did in 94, 95, 96. Don't do that in this day and age.
Yeah.
You just don't. That's not the modern player. This is about application. Yeah, and somebody might roll out, I was a bit unlucky with this and unlucky with... Yeah. But not for 4 years. Not unlucky for 4 years. Very unlikely. It just seemed to me that he got over there, bit overweight at times, not fit, not producing his same form, getting a bit of pressure on him, picks up some injuries, and he's basically... You look at those numbers, and that's saying mailed it in. Mailed it in. You don't go from being the player that Kieran played against and we watched. You don't go from that guy, even with a few... I mean, we're not talking about somebody who said 2 ACLs or a broken leg here, right? You don't go from having these niggling injuries to being utterly ineffective unless you're basically saying, you know what, I've done this at Chelsea, I've made my move, I've got my money now. I just basically don't have the desire. And he was posting videos about, here's me at the gym, this is the hardest I've been training, and I can go and do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. It's a lack of application, and Real Madrid have had themselves burnt by this one financially.
We've seen you post videos of you in the gym.
I tell you what, it's not me.
You should see him in the gym. He's so angry. He just puts a towel over the clock and just stares at the towel.
He's about to have a fight with a towel.
And tell Kieran what I listen to.
Nothing. Just is in his own head.
I mean, well, that's the zone that Hazard had to get into. And then I see you plums all walking in. Does it affect me? No, I soldier on.
Love that, Bernie. Love.
Yeah, no, it's not a nice sight. Although it's been a while since.
Well, I tell you what, maybe I tell you what, that's the difference. If Hazard had put a towel over the what do you call it, that machine,
over the clock, then that'd have been it.
Quick half an hour.
We hear stories, Kieran, of him of not being a great trainer anyway. Even in his prime, is it a case of age catching up with you when you try and get away with it?
I don't know, because we've seen so many players like that. I mean, Jack Grealish come out and said it. You know, he said that he's not one of the most professional guys at times, and he likes to go out and have a drink. And But you know, he's performed this season, so I don't know if you can put it down to that. But I don't know if he's come out and said anything in an interview as to, you know, why things haven't worked out. But to be honest, I just miss him because he was just so good to watch. So I think fans of the Hazard that we know just want to see him perform because he's an entertainer. Like that was who he was, and I think that's the hardest thing to swallow with this move to Madrid.
Get him to Inter Miami with you.
I mean, if anyone's got his number.
Oh, that's where they go, isn't it? They don't go there to pasture.
That didn't seem to be a dig. Do you think he'll retire now, Shaq?
No, he's a fit lad. He's fit. He's still fit.
He's ready to go. I guess somebody takes a chance on him. I'm not sure who. And the fact that he...
Wayne, don't talk stupid.
No, somebody takes a chance. I mean,
I tell you, the only person that took a chance on him, and this boggles in mind, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah.
Was Roberto Martinez. 5 months ago, he's played for Belgium and captained them in the World Cup. Walk that one out, Shaq.
I'm
Who's taking Eden Hazard off the back of that?
Nobody substantial, no big club, but somebody takes a chance, and maybe on a pay-to-play basis, just to see if they can get the best out of him. I'm just saying.
Best out of him. Inter Miami.
There we go. There we are.
Even I'm sure.
So
Someone's going to gamble, though.
Someone's going to take a gamble.
On what?
Of course.
Why?
Because it's Eden Hazard.
Yeah, but it's not. There's two very different Eden Hazards.